Juilliard-trained concert pianist Zachary Hughes is accused of killing a woman who was in a child custody battle with Hughes's friend. Christina Parcell was found with rose petals. Yeah, that's right, rose petals scattered all around her body. She'd been stabbed 31 times. But the mystery doesn't stop there. Court TV's Michael Ayala has more.
That's Zachary Hughes of Greenville, South Carolina. The Juilliard-trained pianist regularly performed Beethoven sonatas and other classical works around town. Then, in 2021, he was charged with murder. Christina Parcell, 41, was found in her home on October 13th of 2021 with rose petals scattered around her.
She was brutally stabbed to death in her neck and head area, approximately 31 different stab wounds by a sharp object, most likely a knife.
Prosecutors say Ring doorbell videos show Hughes entering Parcell's home before the murder and leaving the neighborhood after.
Christina Parcell has a daughter who is around the age of 9, and she was engaged in an extremely contentious custody battle with the father of the child. The father of the child and Zach Hughes are very close friends.
The men aren't only friends, they're also co-defendants in another case. They're accused of sending nude or pornographic images of Parcell to individuals and businesses months before she was killed.
All right, that was Michael Ayala reporting there. So there's a lot to this case. Let's dig in together now. I'm going to welcome back in criminology expert, author, and professor at St. Thomas University, Dr. Debbie Goodman, and former SLED agent and solicitor, currently practicing in the private sector, and a state lawmaker as well, attorney Tommy Pope. So Dr. Debbie, let me go to you first, please, with whether there's any significance you may see with whomever did this murder, scattering rose petals around the victim's body.
Absolutely, Julie. I think there's meaning and significance to everything a killer does. And looking at the rose petal and what potentially does it mean in this regard, we know that roses and flowers represent beauty, love, innocence, friendship, and the nature of this crime scene must have been so heinous and horrible with 31 stab wounds. So I think it's almost an intersection, Julie, of love and hate, that the killer absolutely hated this individual, Miss Parcell, and I think it may have potentially been driven by the daughter and her potential victimization and violation. And I think the rose petals actually represent the beauty, the innocence of the daughter amidst this horrific scene of this woman. Also, by the way, her body allegedly was posed and staged. And for me as a criminologist, that also speaks to a heightened level post-mortem of manipulation, humiliation, and degradation.
Wow, this is such great analysis. Dr. Debbie, thank you for that. So there are some more players in all of this, if you will. So apparently we have, the victim in this case, her boyfriend found her, right? So her boyfriend finds her dead. Now he's facing child pornography charges. So this boyfriend, his name is Bradley Post. He's charged with possession of child porn. And guess what? Police also say that this victim, that she had the child porn as well. So they're saying that these pornographic materials linked Bradley Post with Christina Parcell. Okay, so he finds her dead and then picks up criminal charges. And then there's a little more here. So the daughter that this woman has, the child's father is a music producer, and apparently he has been linked to the defendant. And so they're both facing charges for disseminating nude photos of the homicide victim. So this is wow. We have so many defendants here. It's almost hard to keep track. So let's start with the child pornography. Should that have a place in this homicide trial? The victim said to have allegedly possessed it, her boyfriend as well. Tommy Pope, the boyfriend's a big witness, finding her there dead. Tell me, do you think as a prosecutor you would want this information coming in, or should it stay out?
I think the prosecutor has actually moved to keep it out, to keep it separated. But, you know, when I first heard the rose petal thing, going back to Debbie, I thought, unrequited love, it's always the ex-boyfriend that won't let it go or whatever. But as you look at this, you almost need a dry erase board to write the players, like you said, because Mello, who you have up on the screen now, the father of the child, is good friends with the defendant. I'm wondering, let's leave out the child porn part now, but I'm wondering, is Hughes working as an agent of Mello, so to speak? Is he working as an adjunct to carry out his goals? So maybe Hughes didn't have a direct emotional connection, but he's carrying it out for Mello, who does. We've heard that the divorce was contentious. Now, if you add sexual abuse, I know if I was going through a divorce and my daughter was being sexually abused, I don't want to say what I might do. And so it sounds like he might have done it at his behest, Julie. And so, again, there's layers. And I think the defense, this is when we need Kirk back in, I guess the defense is going to want this in if this shows some type of motive. I mean, it doesn't erase the murder, but it may mitigate it, and it may hang a jury if that's truly what was going on.
Tommy, such sharp analysis. You hit the nail on the head many times there. Was Hughes an agent of Mello's, right? Because we understand that in addition to the homicide charge Hughes has, he also has charges for disseminating nude photos of Christina Parcell. And police say that it was Mello who gave Hughes her phone number, apparently said to harass her. And so there's a link, according to investigators. As you said, Tommy, there's a link. So it's why did Hughes allegedly commit this homicide? If he did it, was it Mello who, as you said, asked him to? So that being said, and you were right also, Tommy, that prosecutors do want to keep out that child porn. So we'll see. Dr. Debbie, I want to go back to you, please. When we think about something like this, with so many layers and so many players involved, as a criminologist, tell me what you're most going to be looking for and paying attention to as we're getting ready. They're picking the jury today, so as we get ready for this to open up, possibly tomorrow.
Absolutely, and these four players, everybody has some level of contribution or question mark for sure. So we're looking at what did Bradley Post have on his cell phone data and his computer. There's allegedly 9 different devices with pictures and heinous imagery of children in sexually exploitive ways. And now we also may have the decedent herself as a participant in this horrendous conduct. And I think Tommy absolutely hit the nail on the head that Hughes acted on the behest of Mello, and Mello, the father of the 9-year-old daughter, probably thought his daughter was being abused and had Hughes take action.